You may not fully realize it yet, but the reason you feel like you are falling into something far bigger than yourself is because you are. There is a divine weight on your life, and it is not a burden meant to crush you, but a calling meant to awaken you. When God chooses someone, He rarely presents the assignment in a way that feels easy or light. Instead, He allows you to walk through situations that stretch you, push you, and force you to look at life from a higher perspective. The heaviness you are feeling in this season is not just random pressure. It is a spiritual signal that heaven is pulling you into alignment with something extraordinary. You are being pulled into a divine assignment, one that will not only change your life but touch the lives of many others in ways you cannot yet imagine. Many times, chosen ones do not recognize their calling because it does not arrive wrapped in comfort. It shows up as a challenge, as resistance, as opportunities that feel too big, as doors that open but require courage to walk through. You are not just stumbling into a bigger season, you are being guided into it, and the tug you feel is the hand of God pulling you deeper into purpose. What may feel overwhelming right now is not a mistake, it is preparation. The weight of responsibility that sits on your shoulders is evidence of your strength, evidence that you have been built differently, evidence that you carry resilience that has been tested by trials. God would not be calling you into this moment if you were not already equipped in ways you don't even see within yourself. Think about the moments in your past where you felt broken down, where you felt like life was unfair, where you questioned why certain people left, why doors shut, why nothing seemed to go the way you hoped. Those were not wasted seasons, they were divine training grounds. Every tear, every rejection, every loss was not a punishment, it was preparation. It was God shaping your heart, refining your character, strengthening your endurance. Now you stand in a season where all of those experiences are beginning to make sense. The challenges you once thought would destroy you were actually sharpening you for what is about to come. That is why you feel this pull, this urgency, this inner knowing that you are stepping into something monumental. When God calls someone into a divine assignment, He does not ask for their comfort, He asks for their obedience. You are being positioned for something that requires you to step out of the familiar, to walk into the unknown, and to trust that the one guiding you already knows the outcome. The bigness of what you are walking into might scare you, and that fear is natural, but it should never stop you. Fear is simply a sign that you are standing at the edge of breakthrough. If it were easy, if it were small, if it were ordinary, you would not need faith. But because it is divine, because it is larger than your own ability, faith becomes your foundation. God is pulling you into a season where your voice, your presence, your very existence will begin to impact others in ways you may not even see immediately. The things you have been through have given you wisdom, perspective, and strength that people around you need. You may not have asked to be chosen, but chosen you are. And being chosen comes with both weight and wonder. It comes with the responsibility of walking a path that others may not understand, but it also comes with the beauty of knowing that you are aligned with heaven's will. The reason you sometimes feel like your life is heavier than others, like your struggles are deeper, is because the assignment on your life is greater. God cannot entrust big missions to those who are not strong enough to carry them. You are being prepared for leadership, for influence, for breakthrough, for transformation. This is not just about you rising higher, it is about you becoming a vessel that uplifts others. The divine assignment you are falling into is about more than personal success, it is about kingdom impact. It is about being a light in dark places, being a voice of hope in hopeless situations, being a carrier of wisdom in a world full of confusion. That is why it feels overwhelming, because it is bigger than your current resources, bigger than your current understanding, bigger than the limits of your mind. But God never gives an assignment without also giving the grace to fulfill it. Grace will carry you where strength cannot, Grace will open doors you could never unlock. Grace will provide what your own hands cannot build. That is why you cannot run from this calling. You cannot ignore this pull, because it is divine. You are being summoned into destiny, and every fiber of your being knows it. Even when your mind tries to resist, the struggles you are currently facing are not signs that you are failing. They are signs that you are close. Pressure increases right before breakthrough. The enemy fights hardest when he sees what God is about to release in your life. That is why it feels like everything is coming against you, because heaven is about to elevate you. The battles in your mind, the heaviness in your heart, the doubts that whisper to you at night, those are distractions designed to keep you from stepping into this bigger assignment. But you must not listen to them. You must hold firm to the truth that you are chosen, and because you are chosen, you are covered, guided, and strengthened beyond what you can see. God has been quietly aligning people, opportunities, and resources behind the scenes while you were in your wilderness season. That season of silence, of waiting, of wondering, was never wasted. It was strategic. It was the foundation for the season you are now entering. You are not falling randomly into something big. You are being strategically positioned. Every detour, every delay, every disappointment has been working together to place you exactly where you are supposed to be. The assignment waiting for you is not just about what you can do, but about who you are becoming in the process. The greatness of what is coming requires you to shed old habits, old mindsets, old fears. You cannot step into this next chapter carrying the weight of the past. God is urging you to release bitterness, release doubt, release the need for control, because what is ahead will not look like what is behind. This new season demands a new version of you. It requires courage, faith, and trust on levels you have never had to access before. That is why God has been preparing you through fire, through storms, through trials, because He knew this moment was coming. Your divine assignment may not always make sense to you, but it makes perfect sense to heaven. That is why doors will begin to open that you never knocked on. Why opportunities will arrive that seem too good to be true. Why people will begin to see in you what you did not even see in yourself. It is all part of the divine alignment. You are not just stepping into something big. You are stepping into something eternal. You are aligning with a purpose that was written for you before you were even born. This is why your spirit feels restless, why you sense that change is near, why you know deep down that you cannot keep living the way you used to. God is calling you higher, pulling you deeper, stretching you further, because the assignment is greater. And though it feels overwhelming, you are not alone in this. The same God who called you is the same God who will sustain you. The same God who placed this assignment on your life is the same God who will empower you to carry it out. You are chosen, you are equipped, and you are ready even if you don't feel like it. The path of a chosen one has never been a smooth or easy journey. From the very beginning of your life, you have felt the weight of being different, the weight of being set apart, the weight of walking through experiences that others around you may never fully understand. You have faced challenges that seemed unfair, you have endured rejection that cut deeply, and you have walked through seasons of loneliness that made you question your worth. Yet, what you did not always realize is that every single one of those experiences was preparing you for the place you're standing in now. The difficulties that made you cry at night, the battles that drained you, and the betrayals that left scars were not meant to destroy you. They were meant to shape you, refine you, and mold you into someone strong enough to carry the destiny that was written over your life before you even entered this world. There is something about rejection that chosen ones know too well. You were not always accepted by family, not always embraced by friends, and not always understood by those around you. In fact, it often felt like people turned their backs on you just when you needed them most. The sting of rejection can make you feel unworthy, But the truth is it was protection. God was not allowing you to be tied too closely to people who could not go where you are going. He was removing connections that would have held you back, pruning relationships that were not rooted in purpose, and distancing you from those who did not carry the capacity to support the calling on your life. Every person who walked away, every door that closed, every opportunity that slipped through your hands was part of a divine strategy to keep you aligned with your higher purpose. The isolation you faced was not punishment. It was preparation. It was in the quiet seasons, the lonely nights, and the moments of feeling misunderstood that God was building you. While others were surrounded by crowds, you were being hidden. While others were celebrating temporary victories, you were being refined in silence. That silence was not empty, it was sacred. It was the space where God whispered truths into your spirit, where He strengthened your resolve, where He instilled wisdom that cannot be taught in classrooms or learned from books. The isolation was your training ground, and though it felt heavy, it was necessary. Chosen ones often endure more than they think they can handle, but it is because the capacity within them is far greater than they realize. The storms you survived were not random, they were intentional. Each storm tested your endurance, each trial tested your faith, each loss tested your resilience. What you didn't see in the moment was that with every test, you were being stretched, and with every stretching, your capacity grew. You began to carry strength you didn't know you had, and wisdom you didn't know you were gaining. That is why now, as doors begin to open, you are ready in ways you cannot even fully comprehend. The challenges you faced were designed to separate you from the ordinary. You were never meant to blend in, never meant to live a life of mediocrity, never meant to follow the same path as everyone else. The difficulty of your journey is proof of the greatness of your destination. If it were easy, anyone could do it. But because your assignment is extraordinary, your preparation had to be extraordinary as well. That is why your life looks different, why your journey has been heavier, why your tests have been harder. You are being positioned for something that others will look at and not fully understand, and that is because it is not meant for them. It is meant for you. The rejection you faced was not just about people leaving your life. It was about teaching you that your worth is not tied to human approval. You had to learn that your value does not come from being accepted by everyone, but from being chosen by God. You had to learn that sometimes the crowd will overlook you, but heaven has its eyes fixed on you. You had to learn that rejection from man often means selection by God. And once you grasp that truth, you begin to see that every no, every closed door, every betrayal was actually a yes to your greater purpose. Even the pain that seemed unbearable at times was not without meaning. Pain has a way of awakening the soul, of teaching lessons that joy cannot teach. It was through pain that you discovered strength, through pain that you found resilience, through pain that you developed compassion. You know what it feels like to be broken, so now you have the ability to help others heal. You know what it feels like to be overlooked, so now you carry the empathy to uplift others who are unseen. You know what it feels like to walk through darkness, so now you carry the light to guide others through their shadows. That is the gift of the chosen ones, to take what was meant to break them and turn it into wisdom, strength, and healing for others. The battles you fought in silence were not wasted. Every tear you cried, every prayer you whispered, every night you wondered if things would ever change was a seed planted into your future. Those seeds are now beginning to bear fruit. You may not have seen it happening at the time, but every moment of endurance was building a foundation so strong that nothing can shake it. You have been tried, you have been tested, and now you are being trusted. Trusted with influence, trusted with responsibility, trusted with a calling that will stretch you further than you have ever been stretched before. What makes chosen ones unique is not that they are spared from pain, but that their pain is transformed into purpose. The very things that tried to destroy you will become the very things that equip you to fulfill your calling. The rejection becomes resilience. The isolation becomes intimacy with God. The trials become testimonies. The losses become lessons. Nothing was wasted. Every season had a reason, even if you could not see it at the time. Now, as you step into this new season, the preparation becomes clear. You begin to see why you had to walk through so much, why you had to endure so many battles, why you had to be set apart. It was never to punish you, it was to position you. You are now standing at the edge of breakthrough, and the weight of your past has made you strong enough to carry the weight of your future. The chosen ones are often misunderstood because their journey does not make sense to those who have not walked it. People may look at you and wonder why you faced so many struggles, why you had to fight so hard, why you didn't give up. They will not understand, because it was not meant for them to understand. Your journey was tailored specifically for you. Every detail was divinely designed to prepare you for the assignment only you can carry. That is why you can no longer look at your past with bitterness, but with gratitude. Gratitude for the lessons, gratitude for the strength, gratitude for the wisdom. Without those experiences, you would not be ready for the season you are entering now. You are equipped, you are prepared, you are strong enough, because your journey has made you so. The chosen ones know that their story is bigger than themselves. The pain was never just about you. The trials were never just about you. The rejection was never just about you. It was all a part of a greater plan that will allow you to reach others, inspire others, and lead others. What you endured will become the very thing that connects you to the people you are called to impact. Your scars will tell a story. Your journey will be a testimony. Your resilience will be a light. And so, even though the challenges were many, they were never wasted. The rejection made you stronger. The isolation made you wiser. The pain made you deeper. All of it was shaping you for this moment, this season, this assignment that is now unfolding before you. There comes a moment in the journey of every chosen one where the weight of their assignment feels almost unbearable, where the path forward looks uncertain, and where the temptation to quit whispers louder than the call to keep moving. This is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you are standing on holy ground. You are closer to breakthrough than you realize, and it is in these very moments that God is urging you not to give up. The pull you feel to surrender, to walk away, to abandon what you have been building is strong, but it is not the truth. It is the resistance that comes before elevation, the pressure that comes before release, the test that comes before testimony. God is asking you to hold on, to trust Him beyond your own strength, because what He has prepared for you is far greater than what you are walking through now. The journey of the chosen one is not meant to be easy, because easy does not refine, easy does not stretch, easy does not build endurance. You have been set apart for a reason, and part of that reason is learning how to stand firm in faith when everything around you seems to shake. The battles you are fighting right now are not designed to take you out. They are designed to push you into prayer, to push you into deeper trust, to push you into alignment with heaven's will. Every challenge you face in this season is a sign of the magnitude of the blessings waiting on the other side. The greater the resistance, the greater the release, the greater the battle, the greater the breakthrough. Think back to the moments in your life where you thought you could not survive, but somehow you did. Remember the times when you thought the pain would never end, but eventually joy returned. Remember the doors that slammed shut, only to lead you to better ones. Each of those experiences is proof that you are stronger than you think, that you are more resilient than you know, and that God has never abandoned you. That same God who carried you then is carrying you now, and He is pleading with you to keep pressing forward. The enemy wants you to give up before you see what God has been preparing. But you must resist that temptation, because you are too close to turn back now. Chosen ones often find themselves in seasons where nothing makes sense, where the struggles seem greater than the rewards, and where faith is tested at the deepest levels. But these seasons are not wasted, they are sacred. They are the seasons that strip away pride, strip away distractions, strip away the illusion of control, and bring you face to face with your dependence on God. It is in these moments of surrender that you discover the power of trust. When you stop trying to figure everything out and simply lean on Him, you open yourself to miracles. The chosen ones are not carried by their own strength, they are carried by divine grace, and that grace is sufficient even in the heaviest storms. God is urging you not to quit because your obedience is tied to blessings you cannot yet see. Your faithfulness in this season will not only unlock doors for you, but also for those connected to you. There are people who will be impacted by your story, who will be inspired by your perseverance, who will find hope because you refuse to give up. You may not even realize the ripple effect of your obedience, but heaven does. That is why the battle has been so intense, because the enemy knows what your breakthrough will release. But greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. No weapon formed against you will prosper, and every lie whispered into your spirit about quitting must be silenced by the truth of God's promise. The chosen ones are carriers of light, and that light shines brightest in the darkest moments. You are not just surviving trials, you are being refined by them. Every fire you walk through burns away the things that no longer serve you. Every storm you endure strengthens your spiritual muscles. Every rejection you face teaches you that your validation comes from God alone. These are not punishments, they are preparations. God knows what is coming, and He is making sure you are strong enough to handle it. That is why the pressure feels so heavy. It is stretching you into the person you need to become for the next level. You must understand that breakthrough often comes disguised as struggle. The very things that feel like obstacles are often doors in disguise. The pain that feels unbearable is often the push that gives birth to purpose. The confusion that clouds your mind is often the very space where clarity is about to enter. What feels like the end is often the beginning of something new. This is why you cannot give up, because what looks like defeat is actually the setup for your victory. God is orchestrating things behind the scenes that you cannot see, aligning people and opportunities that will only make sense in hindsight. Trust the unseen hand that has never failed you. When you look at your journey, you may see scars, broken pieces, and unfinished stories, but God sees strength, resilience, and a masterpiece in progress. He sees someone who was crushed but not destroyed, someone who was wounded but still standing, someone who was counted out by many but chosen by Him. The fact that you are still here is proof enough that you are not finished, proof that your assignment is still alive, proof that you carry within you the power to rise again. God is urging you to rise, to keep going, to embrace the fullness of who you are becoming. The chosen ones are not defined by their past, they are defined by their persistence. You may have fallen, but you rise. You may have been broken, but you heal. You may have been overlooked, but you are still called. Nothing in your past disqualifies you from what God has prepared for you. In fact, it equips you. Your wounds become wisdom, your scars become strength, your losses become lessons. These are the very things that make you ready for the blessing that is on its way. And so, in this moment where you feel tired, where you feel stretched, where you feel like you cannot go on, remember this: you are closer than you think. You are not falling apart. You are falling into alignment. You are not losing. You are being positioned to win. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. Do not walk away from what God has placed in front of you, because the reward for your perseverance will be greater than the pain of your struggle. This is the hour where your faith matters most. This is the season where your obedience is being tested. This is the time where you must remind yourself of every battle you've already survived and know that this one will be no different. God did not bring you this far to leave you. He did not invest so much in you just for you to give up now. You are His chosen, and because you are chosen, you are covered, equipped, and destined for greatness. So, lift your head, strengthen your spirit, and keep moving forward. Do not give in to doubt. Do not surrender to fear. Do not let go of the promise. What you have been waiting for is closer than you realize, and your persistence will unlock it. You are stepping into a season of fulfillment, and when it arrives, you will look back and realize that every battle, every tear, every moment of wanting to quit was worth it. The breakthrough is coming, the blessing is on the way, and the promise is already written over your life. Hold on, because your story is far from over, and the best chapter has yet to be revealed. Thank you for walking with me through this message, for opening your heart, and for listening to the reminder of who you truly are. You are chosen, you are seen, you are loved, and you are destined for more. May this word stay with you, may it strengthen you in your quiet moments, and may it remind you that your story is far from over. Until we meet again, stay strong, stay faithful, and keep shining your light. May God bless you abundantly, guide your every step, and keep you covered in His love and protection. Thank you, and goodbye.